What's going on, guys? Been getting a lot of questions about the Carbide Spikes for jetty fishing, and I'm just going to tell you this right away. If you are going to be fishing the jetties, you're going to go on wet rocks, algae covered rocks, please get the appropriate footwear if you can. It doesn't have to be these ones, but please get some kind of spikes that are going to give you traction, because I've seen way too many people get hurt out there. I've fallen, slipped and fallen numerous times, got plenty of scars from those experiences, and I've learned that a Carbide Spike footwear is the way to go. Now, if you're going to get the Carbide Spikes that screw in, particularly these are the Corkers, Omni-Track system, triple thick Carbide Spikes. Even tells you on the shoe, tighten before use. But what you're going to want to do, get you some thread lock. This is a Loctite blue. You're going to don't have to use Loctite, but you're going to want to use a removable thread lock. What this is going to do for you, for screw-in threads, for screw-in spikes, I'm sorry, it's going to give you a barrier. It's one, going to keep your spikes from unscrewing. Two, and really important, it's going to help keep that female end clean of corrosion. You're still going to want to wash your spikes after every use, but use some thread lock, and it's going to help kind of seal that salt water out to a degree. It's a lot better than not having them. So let's get into it. For these particular ones, you're going to want a 3/8 inch socket. A 10 millimeter will work. You're not going to have to tighten these super tight, and you don't want to. You don't want to strip them. Let's get into it. Here's some other traction options from Corkers. I would definitely recommend the Carbide Spikes. They're probably the best traction you're going to get off these jetty rocks here that we fish. Another good one. Felt is decent for the wet rocks and slight algae, but once it starts getting thick, let's get these out. And again, these are the Corkers Omni-Tracks triple thread Carbide Spikes. But this isn't just going to apply to these. It's going to apply to any spike, shoe wear, footwear that has a screw-in Carbide Spike, or any kind of spike, really. If you're interested in Corkers, they have these. If you just want a Overshoe, Corker sells an Overshoe that has screws-in threads. What you're going to want to do, take these out. It even says tighten before use. That's probably upside down for you, but alright. Get you your thread lock. Again, make sure it's the removable thread lock. Okay? Don't use that permanent stuff or the stuff that you have to use heat to loosen. And really, you're just going to coat it. I mean, this is... You don't want it to back out, but also you kind of want to protect those female threads. So when you wear out your spikes, you can take them out, put new ones in, and still have good receptacles for the next set you put in. Yeah, I'm going to get Loctite everywhere. It ain't a big deal. Tighten these. Again, they don't have to be super tight, you know, a little more than finger tight right there. Thread lock's going to do its job. And you just go on and keep doing it to the other ones. Again, this, definitely recommend it. And actually, we got this tip from guys that striper fish in the Northeast that use these Carbide Spikes a lot. I would necessarily wouldn't have thought of this, but it seems to work for them, and they spend a lot more time in the salt than we do. And while I'm doing this, I just gotta reiterate, guys, if you're gonna be fishing those rocks, you're gonna be stepping on that green algae, please get some kind of traction footwear. It is an investment, but it's cheaper than a trip to the emergency room, guys. And also, you won't have to ruin a day of fishing having to go to the emergency room. And this isn't necessarily the only traction system. I mean, there's if you have an old pair of hiking boots, old pair of work boots, they do sell, companies sell spikes that just screw in to the boot. Obviously, those spikes aren't going to hold in as well as these or other systems that actually have a retention system. Obviously, these ones have that female thread embedded into this rubber. If you use Sims or other wading boots that have a system where you can attach spikes, they usually have some kind of plastic plate in there for those threads to screw into, so it's not just screwing into rubber. But as I said, if you want to try some old golf shoes, that might work. Some people try baseball spikes. I personally have not used those, so I can't say how well they work. You could definitely want to give it a try at your own risk if you want. I do know these carbide spikes work. They work really well. And in fact, they're going to work so well that all your buddies are going to want you to land their fish. And you're going to make a lot of new buddies. They're going to ask you to help them land their fish once they figure out you got your spikes on and they're wearing, you know, whatever flip-flops or sandals, and they've already busted their butt trying to walk on a rock. They're going to be calling you the Jetty goat if you got some of these in. Probably not going to do all of them, but y'all get the point. And all this extra Loctite, it's not a big deal. You want to use more than less because realistically, you want those threads covered. Give them a little coating for protection purposes, for corrosion protection purposes. And Matt's going to be using these spikes anyway, so it doesn't have to look pretty because I don't like them that much. Again, don't have to do it too tight. Just tight enough. Alright guys, if you are interested in these Corker's Carbide Spikes, there will be an Amazon link down in the description. There'll be a link for the boots we like to use in the description. There will also be a link to the overshoes that I mentioned earlier. Those overshoes are great if you don't want to buy boots, you already got your footwear. Those overshoes are great. And I cannot reiterate this enough. I strongly suggest, if you are going to be fishing these jetties, please get some kind of spikes that are going to give you traction. I hope this helps you stay uninjured and fish longer out there and be more successful. So if y'all like the video, give it a like. If you have a comment or a question, go ahead and drop down in the comment section. And don't forget to subscribe for more videos like this. And as always, y'all have a great day.